Have you ever been thinking about how the truth is worse than fiction? Then stick on with this video. I will ask my spirit guide on that topic. I've been puzzling many times about that question. It's a saying in my home country that the reality is worse than fiction, and yeah, I must concur that because lately I've watched a lot of movies based on true events, based on true stories, and I must confess that even in my wildest imagination, I don't think I would have come up with even thinking about maybe a lot of the cruelty that many people are being put upon. Even in my wildest dreams, in my wildest imagination, I wouldn't even think about all the cruelties that a lot of people have been going through. So let's ask, why is it so that reality or truth is worse than fiction, than our illusion? So as you can see, I have no oracle cards today. I solely want to use the tarot deck to give me some guidance on this topic. Why is the reality or truth worse than your wildest imagination or yeah, your wildest dream? So as I said in the intro, it's the cruelty of the reality that puzzles me, you know. Even in our wildest fiction, you can't see as much cruelty as depicted in the reality. Even documentary about real events is even more cruel than ever you have maybe watched a horror movie. So yeah. Let's not dwell upon it anymore. I've already pre-shuffled the deck and I don't know what's underneath the surface here. So I've shuffled it with the intention. So let's see. Page of Pentacles. Something about the breakthrough, about the illusion. You know, you have two runes here. The Daggers rune and the Iso rune. Page of Pentacles. Interesting start. Interesting start, I must say. So the Pentacles is of course our earthly realm. And yeah, maybe the cruelty, the reality is that with the page here is that Earth is, as an energy, as a planet, are still in its early stage. And even though the evolution of humanity has of course come a long way, we are still in this early phase of consciousness, maybe. The early stage of consciousness. We are not as developed consciously. We have still this savage this savage energy. We are still trained into this warrior state of mind. Yeah, we're still trained within this warrior state of mind. Okay, let's see. I watch different programs because I like to develop myself. And the interesting thing is that I don't recall exactly. I think what kind of program I was watching, but I will shuffle more to get more cards. But I just need to focus on what I'm going to say. I think it was something about food. And they said that even though we are living in a high technology world, and of course we have developed and we are more civilized, of course, than ever before, but consciously and how can I say it? Genetically, yes, we are still at the same stage as the Stone Age. That has puzzling me a lot. We are still not as skilled, even though we have developed and evolved a lot and become more civilized, and we live with a lot of technological developments, but still we are genetically at the same stage as within the Stone Age. So think about that. Let's pull out some more cards. Why is the reality worse than fiction? Why is the real world worse than fiction? Whoa. Did you see that? I feel that this absolutely wants to come through. So, we are still evolving, right? We are still evolving. We are in this early stage still, and as I channel this Stone Age, okay, this is a Viking, but the Stone Age, the gene, that we are still in this development within the survival and survival mood and the warrior mood, right? The defending mood. We have not come as far as that we feel safe within our environment, because this young woman here is training herself to become a warrior. She's in the early stage of training herself to become a warrior. Now let's look. King of Pentacles, the greed. Yes, this is the greed. Look at the looks on his face. It doesn't look very friendly. We have the Queen of Swords in the reverse. 3 court cards already. And the last one, we have the 8 of Wands. The Nautis rune. The Shadow. The necessity to break out from our shadow. So, why is the reality worse than fiction? Yes, as I said, the warrior energy we are still so grounded. We are still so grounded within the earthly way of thinking that we have to do instead of believe, right? That we have to physically do things to achieve. We have the Hagelas rune and the Manas rune. The Manas rune is all about manifestation. Now I forgot what the Hagelas rune is all about. Just give me a second, and I will see. Yes, it's then the destruction. You know that many people still believe that we have only one life, right? And that we aren't reincarnated when we leave, and maybe that is why they they feel that they need to fight. I suddenly heard, you gotta fight for your right, not to party, but to survive. the lyrics is fight for your right to party, but I say fight for your right to survive. So we are so deeply firmly believed that we have only this life, and we have to make our use of it for everything. And as I said, the look on this King of Pentacles, he didn't look very friendly. And yeah, the greed, the ego, the shadow side of the King of Pentacles is that he can be very like the shadowy side of Taurus, very possessive, doesn't want to let go of his belongings, right? If he, for example, if you have bought a property, you are not interested in sharing without gaining a reward for it, right? If you are going to share your property, of course you will sell it for more value than more money than it's maybe worth, right? Now the Queen of Swords, we have the Jera rune, and again the Hagelas. Jera rune is about the harvest. So again, this low vibration, because her sword is pointing towards the earth, and we are not. If this had come this way, right, we would vibrate higher. We would have had higher intelligence, and we would vibrate in a higher state of mind. But we are unfortunately still not vibrating high enough to understand that whatever we are doing is cruel. It's not the higher consciousness. The higher consciousness is compassion and love. We are still in this low vibration that is talking about ego, is talking about the shadow, is talking about the greed. The Eight of Wands here, the Nautis, the shadow. We are still, as I said, we are still in our shadow aspect. We are still in the energy of uncertainty, the ages of uncertainty, right? We don't believe. We have stopped believing. We have stopped believing that in the end of the rainbow there is a pot of gold. At the end of the rainbow, there is sunshine and happiness. After the storm comes the sun, and that is metaphorically for whatever you have gone through in what you're going through in your life, right? It's not all rainy days. We all have happy days, and we have all the balance between rainy days and happy days, right? And this is very interesting that these wands are somewhat shaped in the form of a sun, and that is, to me, the sun in tarot is the innocence, the return to innocence. If you have listened to Enigma, beautiful song, not so much lyric, but you understand the meaning. You don't have to say a lot of words to give a message. So how can, maybe we should ask, how can we heal this? How can we heal this belief? Please, Spirit, how can we heal this belief? How can humanity start to level up and come out of this low vibration? How can we heal and get a better reality, right? How can we level up? Oh, okay. So I think 4 cards is sufficiente. Sorry for my mixing of the words. It's sometimes confusing, you know, when you are mixing 3 different languages at once. But yeah, the Reno, I think that this is the Ansus, the power of the mind, the journey towards the power of taking the power of your mind. Yes, that is the evolution of humanity. The evolution of humanity is the journey towards a higher consciousness. So how can we take on this journey towards a higher consciousness? Let's see. Okay, the Tower. Yes. Burn down the old beliefs. Yes, here you can see a dragon, and again, this is interesting. Look at this. We have this formation here, and the same formation is on this dragon's head. Yes. I suddenly heard burning down the house, you know, Tom Jones. I don't recall all the lyrics. In a moment I can look up the lyric. Yeah, this is very interesting. One of in the text it says, "Here's your ticket, pack your bags. Time to jump overboard." Look at these people jumping overboard. "Transportation is here, close enough, but not too far. Maybe you know where you are. Fighting fire with fire." That is absolutely amazing. Burning down the house. Fighting fire with fire. Fighting your inner beliefs with fire. Burning down the lower vibration, burning down the lower vibration and vibrating higher. You know, if you watch the Game of Thrones, you know, when the dragon princess, dragon queen, it's a long time since I've watched this series, so I've forgotten her name, unfortunately, but you know, when she received these 3 dragon eggs, and yeah, her husband died and her child died, she was fooled into believe that this witch could help get her husband back to life, but she was deceived because evil forces didn't want her child to be born, and that is why they used this witch to unfortunately take this child's life. And yeah, her husband came back to life, but it was a high price to pay, and even though he got back to life, he was disabled. He was in a low vibration. He couldn't speak, he couldn't eat, he couldn't do anything by himself. He was not functioning. And then she decided to transform herself into a higher vibration, into a higher state. And with her, she took with her the eggs, and she went into the fire, and she literally transformed herself like the phoenix, rising. Now, let's see. Page of Swords. Yes, starting to vibrate higher. Still, you have the sword at the ground, but you are now standing instead of like the Queen of Wands when you're upside down, right? You are now standing, and you have a better relationship with yourself. You have the 2 Avos runes that is talking about relationships. There are 2 here: the relationship with yourself and the relationship with God, with spirit, vibrating higher. Again, the journey. Yes, the 6 of Swords is a journey towards a higher state of consciousness. Look at the last one. Oh, wow. Yes. This is Feo and this is Berkano. The wealth. The wealthy mind is being born when you do this healing and transform yourself from the higher vibration and go. Do this journey now. Take this power of your own mind. I will draw a healing card at the end here. I like this. I like these long videos because it takes time to channel, right? It's not something. It's like cooking a good meal. It's like cooking a good meal. Oh, this is interesting. The green color. I got a message from Archangel Raphael. I highly encourage you to watch my video. It's in Spanish, but maybe you can try to translate it yourself if you can't speak Spanish. So it says, goodness. I overcome my perfectionism, polish my character, and feed on the positive. Thus I free myself, allow my goodness to manifest and become a source of joy. Through gentleness, I offer unconditional support, understanding, and love to myself and others. And that is the higher vibration, you know. So we need to come. Out. That is why reality is worse than fiction, because we are vibrating low, and we are not vibrating with the source of joy. We don't give unconditional support to yourself and the people around you. And you are vibrating so low that you don't have the understanding that not everyone is as yourself. Nobody is perfect, and we have to embrace that. We have to embrace the differences between us as human beings. The differences within our character, the different in the way we speak, the differences between how we look, but that it all doesn't matter, because we are all interested in gaining the same thing. We all want to live a joyful and happy and loving life. And it's time now to move out of this lower vibration, the greed, the warrior energy. It's time to put this sword up towards the sky, not down to earth, not down to the lower vibration. It's time to take the sword upwards. Okay, I will stop the reading here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for those of you who watched it to the end. I really hope that you burn down the house, and as it said, jump overboard, take the journey, the transportation is here. Fight fire with fire. Fight your inner demons with fire. Yeah. Okay. Take really good care of yourself, and I see you again in another reading very soon. Bye for now.